quality carnage in the whoops.
Unbelievable crashes here from yesterday. Guys skittering, crashing, cartwheeling. It is a dangerous game out there. I can laugh because I've lived the agony. So there you go. And I'm going to laugh hard at that clothesline. Ouch!
Fabulous, is it supposed to be outdoor motocross? It looks like super to me.
Oh, Schneider gets it all wrong. I'm telling you, that sums it up right there. Acceleration in a short distance, so don't kid yourself. They will be hauling butt by the time they get to that kind of off-camber hard pack. There's Cook up the inside. He gets a terrible jump, kind of slowed up by the pack, but it's those Algo shoes KTMs. Three of them right up there in the mix, and it looks like Willard is our whole shot winner.
Royal Distributing whole shot goes to number 749, Michael Willard, but a pair of Kawasaki's. Let's talk about redemption, Brian. Chisholm and Lockhart second, third. Holman's with some issues early.
Man, our past champion from several years back, Mechanic Matthew, checking things out. Let's hope Holman's gets in the mix, but Lockhart gets by Chisholm early. Hey, there's Charbonneau sitting, what, about 7th, 8th? Wow, we're gonna have a great race. We got some fast riders, got through that start cleanly, but I like Lockhart getting by Chisholm early.
Coming up into that wood section, Brian, here they go. Looks like Barnes in the mix, Johnny Montez with a great start, and look at, is that Chris Whitcraft, number 149.
Whitcraft, another KTM guy, so we have 4 KTMs. They've got the largest squad out here, so huge representation from the Austrian manufacturer in these whoops on lap 1. Willard getting tossed this way and that. Look at the aggression on Chisholm as he gets by teammate Lockhart early on. Well, I guess they're not teammates. Chisholm's got his setup right beside the Factory Cowie guys, but gets into the lead. Look at that. Right by Willard, drives up to step-ups.
Super aggressive again on the inside. So right now we have a pair of Kawasaki's and a pair of KTM's in the top 4. 2 to the Scott Lock-off canvas. The boys funnel through after the whoops, Brian. Still tight through here, Brian. Still tight. This is a tight track.
What a great shot of the pack. Montez looking solid with his rival Mitch Cook. East Coast specialist battling for 5th. I tell you, Montez on that Chris Morgan Racing Yamaha has looked awesome all year.
He has, but remember, he did not qualify last week, Brian. This is redemption for him as Mitch Cook is very smooth through the whoops with a little skate at the end.
Brute strength, Mitch Cook, a big guy on the bike, and his riding style is so spectacular. He's so subtle. He does things on the bike. He's so smooth. I tell you, Mitch Cook is coming into his own. Conkeys, that's so steep there. The best thing to do is just ride down to the other part of the track. The officials will not dock you. These guys are all struggling to get back on the whoops, and they're killing themselves. Kick-starting. It's just a mess there.
Over the finish line, coming up into the wood section, Cook on the inside. That's Matt Barnes on the outside. Let's check off, Brian. What's Cook with again with the inside line. Very aggressive. I love the way he forced Barnes wide, makes the position and takes forward.
You know, I've been impressed with Barnes. He gets great starts. We got a rider down here, Travs.
Brian, that is number 149, Chris Whitcraft. He does not look good. KTM pilot. Oh my, in the whoops.
Again, crashes
that is number
everywhere.
74, Scotty Maiden, who's right down in the bottom of that well.
Yeah, he's trapped under the bike. Let's hope that exhaust isn't burning him. He needs a hand. He's squirreling his way up. Remember, he got the whole
look at
shot.
his shirt, though, Brian. Look at his shirt. He has been burnt badly.
Oh, he is burnt. He's a tough kid. He got the whole shot last year at the round 1 at RJ's. Back to Barnes. Always gets great starts, but seems to work his way back. I think he's got to work on his conditioning. I think he's got it together mentally, but he's got to work on his conditioning. He wants to compete with these guys, and there's Barnes getting shot back a notch by Montez. Montez ride well, but Barnes has been really strong in those whoops. That is where he's getting his redemption. So Montez gets him right back in those whoops.
I love that line coming into the whoops. There are opportunities to make a pass. Look at this, Nestle and Hayden going at it for 12th place. Both of these boys are not happy with their performance right now, but they are picking up the pace. I love to see Chuck Nestle ride the track. Look at this, back to Montez. Charbonneau on the inside. Brian, it's getting dusty. Hard to see. Tough line for Montez. Charbonneau on the inside.
Pretty much unacceptable in the first moto of a pro national to have that kind of dust. Unbelievable. DeHaan for 5th on Barnes, but Barnes, the ace in the hole for him is these whoops. Now, Cook, super strong. He has got the upper body strength. The Popeye forearms for 3rd place on Lockhart. Again, 2 East Coast rivals. They grew up racing mini cycles against one another. The rivalry is huge. The love is gone. relationship. Cook with the upper hand all weekend here at Joliette.
Back to our leader, number 732, going up in the woods. There's that line again. Brian Charbonneau goes outside to inside on Matt Barnes with a great line. Remember, Barnes in the whoops, so look at how smooth he is. He's got that KTM dialed into this track.
He is working as one with that KTM. Awesome through there. But you could see Barnes is weak on that switchback. Gets past, but then makes a back up in those whoops. So
that seems strange to me, though, because it's tougher to ride through the whoops than it is to ride through the switchbacks.
Well, I guess he's got a great bike setup, and he is strong. If you see the guy, man, he's got some wicked upper body going on. So here's the battle now, rages on for second place, and that is Willard, and there's Cook, gets by him for second place. We're going trackside with golds.
All right, there he goes, number 11, shipped Yamaha. Dougie's having a pretty solid race out there, Jared. With all the carnage that's going on, it looks like this weekend's just about salvaging points.
Well, he's been struggling the whole series so far to get a decent start. And like yesterday, he's running just wicked lap time. So I don't know. He didn't have an excellent start, I guess, this moto here. But he's working his way through the pack, and he's on the pipe.
He's sitting in fourth right now. Coming to an end. You think he can hang on to this?
Can he hang on to it? Oh yeah, absolutely.
No problem. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Steve.
Loving Goldie trackside, Brian. Let's get back to the battle for second place. This is Mitch Cook, number 22, and Michael Willard, number 749. Oh, little cross up there, Brian, with a case. Willard on the inside takes second.
Cook got a whole bunch of wheel spin out of that corner. That was the story there. So he lost his drive. An easy pass for Willard, but Cook. You look at these two together, look at the physical size difference. Willard, he's just a little guy, and there's Cook. Cook does not like riding these little bikes, you know. He did not want to ride MX2, but he's showing good here for Blackfoot in this moto.
Picking up for the injured McGordy, Brian, definitely, as we get back to our leader, number 732. That's Kawasaki's Kyle Chisholm. This is his second moto win of the short MX2E series. Kawasaki's got to be happy.
Team Green, redemption time.
To the leaderboard, first MX2 Moto, you know your winner, Kyle Chisholm. Doug DeHaan made it all the way back to fourth from a bad start. Matt Barnes down to seventh, Aaron Dieter in eighth, and Robbie Marshall in 10th.
Well, you're right again, Travers. Hey, there's Bastiani on the inside, dumps the clutch. Goldie right beside him. Look at Grace again. Decker gets the run, spinning whole shot. Yamaha YZ 450F.
Beautiful start for Grayson. Look at that inside line for Grayson. Does he have the lead? Yes, he does, Brian, as he slingshots by Decker. And look at Damon Huffman very quickly with a great start. Is up into second.
Holman sitting fourth, but Grayson capitalizing on the second corner to take first place. We talked about how hungry Grayson was last week at the dunes, and he's proven it right here and now, leading the moto.
One thing I do like about this track, Brian, is how close the riders stay early in the moto, so there's a lot of chance for passing early before they start to separate up into the woods.
That's true. Keith Johnson, number 6, got a great start. Shane Best, 102 in the mix. Team Face, Kevin Johnson, also in the top 10 on that two-stroke Yamaha, wearing all white. There he is there, looking good, but looks like Blair Morgan making a move on him.
Beautiful shot up in the woods, Brian. This section is full sand, a little silty in places, but there is traction everywhere.
Holmans grabs a tear off. Look at the pack. Klatt looks over at Waugh. Vallejo's in there. We got all our top players sitting in the top half of the field. Grayson talking about the whoops. He knows he's not the fastest guy through there, but he's consistent, and that's what you gotta be.
Johnson Bachuan with a great line on the inside, takes care of Lockridge. I also saw Blair Morgan going through there very strong. We've seen him ride this track well before.
Now that's an understatement. He is awesome on this track, challenging for 5th right now with Johnson. Best giving Waugh the business for 7th. Loving it out there. Shane Best on that two-stroke Yamaha, proving his worth.
Waugh looks very tentative out there as Blair Morgan makes his way up into 5th place, and then Waugh gets by Best.
He does, and look at Klatt's looming in the back as well. He looked really fast in practice, so we'll keep our eye on that Blackfoot pilot. Look at the guys getting stylish. There's Klatt right behind Johnson.
Still rather tight as we get early into the moto, Brian. Look at Blair Morgan through the rhythm section on the inside.
Nice.
Does he have Simon Hollings? Yes, he does.
Good call there by Morgan. Grabs a tear off, looking ahead. This is the section where him and Waugh dueled feverishly in 02 here the last time we were at Joliette. Now Waugh all over his bike. Scotty Holman's, he grabs a tear off there.
Simon Holmans has been the big surprise in the MX1 class this year, Brian. Another good start for Holmans on that four-bagger. Checking off to the side as Waugh swings by through the dust.
Holman's got a little wheel spin, a little fishtail. That's all it takes. You definitely need some good vision here in the dust. The sweat here, it's so hot, the sweat comes off the riders and sticks to the inside of the goggles. There's all kinds of peril with vision, not just mud, I'm telling you.
That's the second time you've mentioned wheel spin, Brian. This track is very, very slippery, even though it's dry.
Yeah, it's so hard underneath. They finally did something with these whoops to fix them up for racing conditions. Huffman, probably the fastest guy, him and Vallejo. Decker, though, rock solid. Cannot stress enough, Decker is like money in the bank. Waugh by Morgan now as Morgan goes off to the side of the grass.
All it takes is one wrong move on one of those whips and you're going to start to get squirrely. That's what happened to Morgan. Waugh smoother, made the pass.
I tell you, if that roost catches you off guard, it gets your attention quick. Dubé really solid battling with Hagseth, loses the front end. We talked about how hard and slippery it is there. And I know Dubé always runs his front forks really stiff, so that could have caused that front wheel to slide out. There's Grayson on autopilot. He is hitting every bump perfect. I have not seen Grayson get a wheel wrong out there.
Hey, Fabs, how about this battle for 22nd? Number 77, Clint Sheely from the Motor Park team, and Privateer Pete Raymer on the inside. A little bit of love it for Raymer. Coming back from that big sample in the qualies yesterday. That guy is built like a brick S-house, and you know it.
And that's old school motocross. That's what I like to see. And this is what I tell you young guys. If there's a little hill, bump start those four strokes after 5, 6 kicks. Find a slope and bump start him. Justin Thompson knows how to get back in the race quickly.
Back to the approach to the whoops. Eric Blade, who's been super strong. Brian, Supercross specialist.
Yeah.
Look at him blast through those whoops. And Josh DeMuth looking pretty good as well.
Huge surge of acceleration from Vallejo as he gets by Holmans. Now DeMuth challenges Holmans on the inside, shows him a wheel, and knocks him back when Holmans looks back. See who else is coming, Travis.
That was for 10th place. Brian Holmans looks like he's getting a little bit tired. Oh my! The Huffy scrub. Oh, fabulous.
What do we tell you? That is now called Huffman's Hill. It's official. There's Kevin Johnson, gets by best for 7th. Evan Lothridge right there. He's got a great seat. And look at DeMuth. He's looking aggressive.
Great shot of our leader, number 16. That's Gavin Grayson on the Suzuki Ocean Transport RMZ 450. Brian, he is in total control right now.
Looking rock solid. The list of sponsors they have is incredible. Here is the battle for 8. Things are hotting up with Lothridge and DeMuth on Best. Best doesn't get any air. Best is standing. Best is coasting. He has got some issues in the late stages. He's looking back, seeing who else is coming. You think he's tired?
Elevation changes, Brian. That's the one thing I love about this track. It's very European in that way. As we get back to arena cross specialist, Lothridge and Josh DeMuth. Look at Josh DeMuth. That guy is huge with a great line on the inside. Does he have Lothridge? Yes, he does.
Wow, he wants it bad. That was brute strength. You can see him on those rocker side whoops just skimming by Lothridge. Lothridge dipped the front wheel in once, but that's all it takes to lose your mojo. Huffman right here, the style king, embraced by these French-Canadian fans. They love that Blackfoot rider.
As per usual, Huffman coming on super strong in the back half of the season, getting some great starts as we get back to our leader, number 16, Gavin Grayson. As a matter of fact, Brian, he is on his way right now to taking his first win in the MX1 class in Canada, and looking super strong. Gavin Grayson takes the checkered flags, Brian. Super stoked and loving life right now.
Well deserved for Grayson.
Fan turnout here as we get to the leaderboard. First MX1 moto, Gavin Grayson with his first win on Canadian soil. Great ride for Decker in 3rd. Waugh surprise in 4th, and Morgan in 5th place. Joliette, Quebec. Second MX2 moto riders are on the line. Good shot of Pat O'Connor and his boy Kyle Chisholm. This moto will be brought to you by the fine people at Suzuki Canada. Brian, I love that shot coming down on the line. You see all those boys pumped up. Renee Che with the 30 board up. Things are starting to heat up. Hey, is that Dougie DeHaan trying to fire up his bike?
It is. They just missed the line sweep where the ref didn't see his mechanic had his hands up. Dougie's kicking furiously. Look at him, he gets it started at the last second. He is going to be full of piss and vinegar coming into here. He gets a bad jump, but there it is, KTM.
Oh my goodness, that was number 378, Matt Barnes with the Royal Distributing Hush. Let's give it to those KTM boys. They really know how to put it on the line. And look at a pair of Cowies again with Chisholm and Lockhart.
I can read those KTM press releases now. They will be so stoked. There goes Chisholm up the inside. Takes second away from Willard, and he challenges Barnes. Barnes with a nice berm shot in control for now in first, but the heat is on big time.
Barnes showing some redemption from last weekend. Don't think he enjoyed the sand too much, but Kyle Chisholm, again, a young rider, so much potential, so smooth, almost experienced even at this age.
If he's not a superstar of our sport in 3, 4, 5 years, something is wrong. This kid has all the skills to be a champion in the U.S. as well as Canada. The pack finally threw up that big step up, and the dust is still prevalent out there.
Back to the battle for the lead. 378 Barnes in control. Looks like Chisholm had a problem through those ruts, Brian. Let's check the lines as they drop into the valley.
I think his left foot got torn off in the deep ruts. Chisholm looking around, and you can see how those ruts have formed into like cement. There is no forgiveness at all. And down here, ultra slippery. A nice challenge by Chisholm for the lead. He has it, but we know how fast Barnes was through these whoops. Travers, and look at Willard and Lockhart right there.
Beautiful line for both Willard and Lockhart, but look at Kyle Chisholm. Again, smooth, Brian. We talked about how smooth you need to be from beginning to end in those whoops.
That's right. It's going to be great for Chisholm. Dust and roost free out there. Big moment by Willard.
Oh, look at that.
Dubé section. Yeah, that's Charles Ellis. He's down. He doesn't look too thrilled. And look at all the positions he's losing here, Travers.
American Ellis is just furious, Brian, trying to get his goggles off as we get back to the battle for second place. A pair of KTMs. That's Barnes, 378, and Michael Willard, number 749.
Willard looks aggressive. Ultra rough through here. Here's Huffman's Hill. Nice style by Willard. I think he's the danger man. Barnes, though, physically stronger, able to carry more speed through those dreaded whoops. But there goes Willard. A great passing opportunity here side by side. They look beautiful on those bikes. Their gear, matching helmets. Fantastic race action. Barnes doesn't lay down on his teammate. Big moment for Willard. I think he had to lock the back wheel there to straighten himself out. The new Brian Lockhart 21 has got the best seat in the house, and now he's getting all amped up on Willard here. Look at the body English on Lockhart. He's on a charge.
Matt Barnes so strong in the whoops. Brian, as we get back to our leader, number 732, Kyle Chisholm, who's drummed up a huge lead right now. This right here is the battle for fifth place. Swanson Yamaha's Eric Cowlick, and he's got number 933, Robbie Marshall on the inside. Brian, look how rough that part of the track is. Oh, and Cowlick has a moment. Marshall swings by for fifth.
Cowlick offline. Marshall got 10th in the first moto from a bad start. The battle for sixth is raging. Mitch Cook gets a great pass done on Pierce Chamberlain. I don't know, Chamberlain's got some skills, but he's working his way back. There is the brute strength of Mitch Cook through the rocker section. Marshall has a huge moment. I think the writing's on the wall for him as Cook dives in the inside off the double up.
The ruts going into that left-hander after the whoops, Brian, are gigantic. You got to make a decision early. As we get back to the battle for second place, we have a report. Willard has fallen back with brake problems. Look at Salty on the inside as he takes care of Barnes. What a great pass. Salty dog Ryan Lockhart up into second place.
A real good pass by Lockhart, really fast on this track. We know he wants to beat Mitch Cook, and he's coming in here with 0 points from his double DNF at the dunes.
Back to the battle for 10th place. Dougie DeHaan with a great line on the outside. Gets by Kyle Keith. Brian, he had a horrible start with that malfunction off the line, got his bike going, and now he's working up on Charbonneau.
I tell you, as a rider, when that happens, you are furious. So Dougie D is going off like a grenade in this moto from that start. He is going to have some words with the referee. I can guarantee that after this, as Barnes under pressure from Mitch Cook down this gnarly off-camber straightaway into those deep ruts for third place. Cook, I tell you what, conditioning, he's coming on strong at the end of these motos, and it's paying off huge for that Blackwood star.
This track is rough, rutted, and slick, a technical nightmare as we get back to the battle for 10th. 263 Charbonneau with a great line on the outside, but Dougie DeHaan showing him a wheel. He goes inside. Does he have him? Yes, he does, Brian. A great pass on the inside.
How DeHaan throttling up late in the moto. We're going trackside with Heavy G, Reingold.
All right, there he goes. Here with Ben, his man, his mechanic, Benny. The Cowie pits are looking a lot better this week than last week.
Oh, things are really looking up this week. We spent a lot of time on our motors.
pro circuits help us out so much. It's going real good.
Back to the battle for 18th. We've got Chuck Mesley and French-Canadian up-and-comer Tim Tremblay. Look at Mesley just skyrocket through those whips, Brian.
Mesley went down already in this moto, punts out Tremblay. When Mesley's on a tear, get out of the way. His results have not been indicative to his talents yet this year, so hopefully we can see him shine back to the East Coast rivalry for second place. Number 21, Ryan Lockhart on that lime green Richmond Cowie. And of course, Cook on that Honda. Cook gets the measure on the inside. Elbows up, let's see if Lockhart can respond. They're coming up to that whoop section, Travs, as Chisholm on autopilot.
Again, another shot with the elevation here, Brian. There's so many ups and downs and huge pull corners. Uh-oh, look at this, the battle for third place. Robbie Marshall's making it all up on number 21, Ryan Lockhart. Lockhart's got to get some defense together, Brian. Oh, Marshall, a little slip in that run-it up section.
Yeah, it looks like Cook is taking off Marshall, does bobble coming up, but the new bobbles as well. Marshall makes good from that terrible mishap in the course, still manages to steal third from Ryan Lockhart. So relative unknown Marshall up into the final podium spot, Travers.
Back to number 732, Kyle Chisholm on his final approach, Brian. He is going to take a clean sweep, double moto win here at MX2 as he pulls off a little freestyle move. Got to be pretty excited about that. Look at this, the battle for second place is heated up. Number 22, Mitch Cook, has got number 933, Robbie Marshall, all over him, about 3 corners to go, Brian.
Wow, I want to see more of this Marshall kid in the future. Unbelievable. He reeled in a ton of real estate. I think Cook thought he was safe there in second. His mechanic probably told him he had a nice gap, and he relaxed a bit too much. Marshall pressuring hard. He's up here preparing for Loretta Lynn's. Hanks tough for third. Too little, too late.
To the leaderboard, second MX2 moto. Let's go down the list a little bit. Great ride for Swanson, Yamaha, Cowlick, Keast in 7th, Johnny Montez in 8th, and Machines Trevor Hall in 10th.
Throttle up. Look at Klatt on a tear. A huge gap, hitting everything just right. A little roost. Vallejo up on the side wall on that bank. Loses a split second. Huffman capitalizes. He's into 5th now, Travers.
Huffman's been using that high line, and the bull turns to his advantage all day long as we get back to number 8, Marco Dube in 2nd place.
Boy, does he look good there as well. Huffman just got around Lothridge, but Lothridge not giving up one bit, Travers. Look at this battle. Look at the numbers coming through there. And there, John Sebastian Watt is at 9th.
Remember, John Sebastian Watt with that sore knee from Gopher Dudes as we have some problems coming into the whoops. Blair Morgan with a great line on the outside. Does he have Eric Vallejo? I don't think so. Here comes Waugh. He gets by KJ. Holy mackerel, Brian. These whoops are out of control.
KJ tagged the back of Vallejo coming into the whoops. That's what stifled his mojo. Now the champ up on Morgan. Dubé styling it off that tabletop down the hill, doing the tear-off thing. The crowd going nuts as Hagstead having a horrible weekend.
He sure is, Brian, soldiering through that tough rib injury as we get to see Morgan on that same line on the outside. Does he have Vallejo again? Oh, I don't know. Both of these riders are so tricked through these whips, but I like Vallejo on the inside.
Neck and neck. I think the only reason Vallejo got it because he was on the inside. They're teammates, and Decker's on that team. So what a strong team that the Morgan Yamaha camp has put together. And there's Klatt way out in front, just decimating the competition and this tough Joliette circuit. And there's D-Booth. He is in the mix for 10th place. KJ slipping back, and look at the ruts up there, Travers. It's nasty.
Where's DeMuth? Where is DeMuth? There he is. A full enduro ride for Josh.
DeMuth hung up on that berm. He got out into the rhubarb. Let's hope he can fire that thing up. Tough break. Klatt gets squirrely out front, and that is a very nasty. That could have been terrible for Klatt. But like I said earlier, if you get in trouble there, he just ride down. The officials won't dock you, but Klatt hangs on by the skin of his teeth.
This is the battle for third place, Brian. David Huffman has been making up all kinds of ground on number 4, Craig Decker. An inside line through those rollers. Who's going to come out on top?
Like we haven't seen these two battle, Travers, lately. They've been bar to bar every moto, it seems, and Huffman with the upper hand now, but Decker, a smart rider. He'll just stay composed and, either get the podium or try and regroup a pass. It's Klatt looking good.
Super tight part of the track, Brian. The 4 strokes cornering well through there. Cornering well as we get back to number 686, Josh DeMuth, and number 9, Brad Hagseth. Oh, Brian DeMuth is down again.
Oh, he was doing so well. He had that small ball we just saw, and that's a horrible spot to crash. It's an off camber, so all your weight is just body slammed and fly swat into that hard ground. Dubé stalls from second place. Oh no, let's hope this four-stroke will fire. He rode so well in the first moto, but had a bunch of crashes. So let's see if Dubé can get going.
Huffman gets by and moves into second. Craig Decker with his last lap flag in third place. Through the rollers, this is the battle for 8th spot, Brian. Morgan on the inside, Johnson on the outside. Let's see who takes the spot.
These guys have been swapping positions all moto, just having an awesome race. There's KJ, takes a look. There's a lap rider up front. Morgan hangs on for now, but it's anyone's go as Johnson gets the advantage. Morgan had to back out of it for that lap for Travers, and now 1 lap to go.
Number 7, Dusty Klein, our leader on his final approach, Brian. He's got a great lead right now. He can relax. Uh-oh, to the whoops. Morgan on the outside. Keith Johnson on the inside. Who's going to take it? Great line for Keith Johnson. He has been happy in the whoops all day today, but Morgan's still making it on the inside.
Yeah, he's revved up. He's got the inside exactly, Travis. And look at this, right up those revs simultaneously. Morgan has been wicked through this section, but he just hits that last bump wrong, and KJ drives away.
Back to our leader, number 7, Dusty Klein, who is going to take the checkered flag and his second win here in the MX1 class this season.
The top 10 to the leaderboard. Vallejo solid in 6th. Lothridge had a good day. Huff Dubé manages to hang on to 4th. And Morgan and Johnson have their little duel, and Treadwell takes 10th.
To the MX2 East points after 2 of 4 rounds. Kyle Chisholm comes storming back to take first place right now with a clean sweep. Mitch Cook sliding into second. Kyle Keaston 6th, and Eric Kowalik in 10th.
To the MX1, Wong commanding. Huffman moves from 5th to 2nd today. Graysick loses a ton, and Decker hangs tough. Thanks for